Hey guys, this is Jaden from Team Shadow Strike coming at you, and today I'm also continuing my Power Rangers segment. If you recall, when I very first started my random rants, I did a first segment on Power Rangers, and I got my 5 thumbs up, so I'm continuing to do my segments on every series of the Power Rangers in honor of the 20th anniversary. So anyway, guys, the last time I did this, I did Power Rangers Turbo. And I'm doing the next step, which is Power Rangers in Space, which came in 1998. Now, 1998, Power Rangers, it was a complete change of what we knew Power Rangers to be. And they weren't even on this planet anymore, obviously. It was in space. This was around the time that I guess that, space was the place to be. And I can say personally, because this, if I was going to do a top 10 or a top 5 of my favorite Power Ranger series, this definitely would be considered in my top 5. I don't know if it would definitely make the cut, but I'd definitely be in strongly consideration, because I loved Power Rangers in Space. It was one of my favorite series of all time, and it had one of my top 10 favorite Rangers in it of all time. So anyway, guys, let's get into it. Let's get into the cast first. Roger Velasco came back as Carlos, Selwyn Ward came back as TJ, Tracy Lynn Cruz came back as Ashley, and Patricia J. Lee came back as Cassie. Now, Carlos was the Black Ranger in this series, TJ was the Blue Ranger, Ashley was the Yellow, and Cassie was the Pink. Now, for the 5th Ranger and the leader of the group, this guy, like I was the guy I was talking about a second ago. He is one of my top 10 favorite Rangers of all time, and he was played by Christopher Kamen Lee, and his name was Andros, and he was the Red Ranger and the leader of the Power Rangers. Now, Andros, in my opinion, as a character, he was someone that I think everyone can understand, someone that everyone can identify with, and that was because he was not from Earth. He was from a space colony, and he did not understand everything that his Ranger counterparts did or believed in, or he didn't understand their life. So at times, you see Andros in the series feel like the outsider in the very early part of the series. He's more, he doesn't understand working as a team. He doesn't understand teamwork. He's always been on his own, so he kind of just stays in his own little shell. So I think Andros is someone we can all, confide in. So anyway, and then we get about, sometime into the series, and we come across this one time when there is a attack on the ship, electricity goes out, 4 of the Rangers go into this one room, and they see a secret door open of a doorway to a place they didn't know existed, and they go in, and they see this cryogenic freeze thing, cryogenic chamber, I think that's what they called it, and inside they see a guy dressed as a Power Ranger, and he's wearing this silver suit. And they're like, who is this? What's going on? And then suddenly Andros walks in and explains that it's his best friend Zane. He's the Silver Ranger. And like 2 years ago, when his planet was attacked, him and his friend Zane were in this battle, and Zane jumped in front of something, and it blew up on Zane and knocked him out, and was supposedly believed that he was dead. So Andros took him aboard this ship and froze him in a way to hopefully heal him before he could die. So this guy, he eventually comes back in a special episode, and he comes back in really cool fashion. He comes back as the Silver Ranger, and Zane is the Silver Ranger. If I could compare him to anyone, compare him to Mr. Suave. I mean, guys, this was one of those guys that he's one of the Power Rangers that's almost just too perfect. He's got the perfect blonde hair, he's got the perfect blue eyes, and he just kind of walks, and he's got the cool black suit that he wears on board the spaceship, where everyone else wears this gray one, and he's always got this $1 million smile, and he falls in love with the bad girl named Astronema, and he was just really, really cool. This series also had so many other cool things. It had the Psycho Rangers. And guys, the Psycho Rangers, Astronema at one point in the show, she decides that she's going to make her own series of Power Rangers, and she needs them to be able to take down the Power Rangers because every other monster that she's made has not been able to finally kill the Rangers. So, well, let me rephrase that. Kill is not a word they like to use in the Power Rangers. She hasn't been able to destroy the Power Rangers. So she creates the Psycho Rangers, and there's like 9 episodes, and it's my favorite stretch in space, of the Psycho Rangers fighting the normal Rangers, and it is so cool, and the Psycho Rangers look badass. They're basically, there's a Psycho Red, Black, Green, blue, yellow, pink. It was really, really cool. So anyway, guys, back onto the topic. So through the whole series, the thought is to find Zordon, because at the end of Turbo, Zordon was captured, and he was given to by the Dark Spectre, and he was given to Astronema, and they have him somewhere, and throughout the whole series, the Power Rangers are looking for them. And along the way, eventually, I think it's 6 episodes into the season, they find out that Andros has another motive. He is also looking for his sister. His sister was supposedly taken away from their home planet, KO-35, when they were little kids, and he's been looking for ever since. He finds out eventually who takes her, and he also finds out that the woman that he's been fighting against, Astronema, which is kind of like the Lord Zed, Rita Repulsa, or Divatox character in this series, is his sister. He finds out that Astronema is Karone, his sister, that he's been spending all this time looking for. And also through this whole series, there's at one point where he's trying to convince her that they're siblings, and she doesn't believe him because she's under the Dark Spectre's power. So there's a lot of things that goes on in this series, and it is so cool. It's also one of the last things that we see in Power Rangers. Not until Dino Thunder was another Ranger brought back to do another role, and that's what I mean by that is, this series, the only thing that changed in the cast of the main Ranger casts, if you look at just the main 5, take away the Special Ranger Zane, if you look at just the main 5, 4 of those Rangers were in Turbo. TJ, Carlos, Ashley, and Cassie just moved into space, and Andros filled in for that terrible character, Justin, who, I'm sorry, Justin in Turbo just pissed me off. It's like, he was always whining, he had just a whiny voice. I didn't really notice it that much when I was a little kid, because I really didn't care, because I was just like, yay, Power Rangers with cars, But now when I've gone back and I've watched all the series again, I just I want to punch that little kid right in the fucking face, just because he just annoyed me. I don't know what it is. Maybe he just rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know. But I'm really glad Justin didn't move on. And part of me thinks the reason he didn't move on is because he really didn't get good reviews. So, but In Space was an amazing series, and it ends with, Andros finds where they're keeping Zordon, and when he finds Zordon, he's also having to fight off all these creatures, and Zordon makes a request of him. He tells him he needs him to destroy his power cylinder thing that Zordon sits in, and he tells Andros, you need to destroy my cylinder that will release all of my good energy, and it will erase evil. Andros, of course, stalls at first because it's like, wait, Zordon, if I do that, it will kill you. And Zordon is like, I know, but that's the point of the plot. You're supposed to do what's good for the prosperity of Earth. So that's what Zordon requests of Andros to do. Andros hits the chamber, and Zordon is released, and all is made good. So that's Power Rangers in Space. They return to Earth. The 4 that were from Earth, they go back to Earth, and then Zane and Andros and Karone have the choice of either going back to their own planet, but they choose to follow their friends. So, guys, that was In Space. For now, let me talk about the grading of this series. If I had to grade this series, I think it's better than an A. I think it's better than an A. I think it's better than an A. I think it's better than a B. So I'm going to give it an A-. Now, the only thing that I can complain about this series is one episode they brought back that little bitch Justin. You know, so that was a downer. I didn't really like that. But one thing I did like is another Ranger they brought back in this series for a one episode was Adam, played by Johnny Bosch. Came back in an episode when Carlos is so sad because he thinks he can't cut it as the Black Ranger. You know, and Adam comes back and he's like, Carlos, you gotta believe in yourself. That's the point of being a Ranger. If you believe in yourself, you can do anything. Or something cheesy like that. So, I mean, it was cool to see these other Rangers except Justin come back. And then, I mean, I thought when I was a little kid, the Silver Ranger was really, really cool. I mean, and he also had that really badass looking weapon that became a gun. And then if he did this, a blade shot out of it. So, it was really cool. So, in the end, you know, Zordon is just destroyed, you know, for the better of the world, and he releases all of his good energy. That almost sounds gay, doesn't it? So anyway, guys, this is Power Rangers in Space. So, like I said, I would give this series an A-. You know, it had its few episodes here and there where it was just like, okay, come on, get back to the good ones. You know, but the reason this gets it the lowest A possible is for a lot of reasons. One, you get to see Adam come back. Two, you get to see the badass Psycho Rangers. They had so many cool weapons, too, and in space, they had these little gliders, and they had cool weapons, and their spaceship morphed into the Zords, and overall, a really good series. I really, really liked In Space. So, good series. I still like watching it. Like I've said, if you want to rewatch these, or you've never watched Power Rangers, but if you told me you've never even heard of Power Rangers or watched Power Rangers not even once, I would probably question where have you been the last 20 years. But it is all on Netflix. If you're interested, please check it out. You know, I'm actually watching some right now, but while I was doing these videos, and it's just really cool to kind of go back and watch and see the nostalgia that I grew up with. So anyway, guys, that's In Space. In the next video, I'll be covering Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. So thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe in the comment section below. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you liked about Power Rangers Lost in Space. Who was your favorite Ranger? What was your favorite moment? You know. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe again in the comment section below. Please tell me what you liked about Power Rangers in Space. I want feedback. Thumbs up the video for me. I'd appreciate it, and I will see y'all later.